Hi everyone. Hi everyone. This is Amy. I'm Amy, and this is my new YouTube channel for all my witchcraft and chaos videos. And I'm thinking of having it be like I will have instructional videos or video responses and stuff like that, but I think I will also do videos on my life and how witchcraft and chaos magic influences my life, and that is just a part of me and who I am, and that is not really separate from mundane life. Like, I have no mundane life, it's generally who I am pretty much. And so on Deviant, they totally had a introduced me to witchcraft tag, the 77 questions of witchcraft or something like that. And so I'm going to do some of them, probably not all of them, as in sort of intro video for this. Yeah, so I'm gonna be reading some of the questions here, like at least 20 of them. I don't know if I'll do all of them, but sort of like an intro to who I am, I guess you could say. And I'm also going to do links in my former videos below, because people really liked the servitor video, because there isn't any videos on YouTube about servitors and glamours and things like that that are very chaos magic. And so let's see. Let's start the 70. Well, I'm going to do 20 questions basically. It's a 20 questions of witchcraft. And so for the witchcraft tag, first one is: do you use runes as a written language? No, I don't use runes as a written language in chaos. You use runes to as symbols to activate certain parts of to activate certain aspects of yourself that weren't necessarily alive before. So I would use certain runes on, I would inscribe them in a very witchcraft kind of way. Like I wish I could show you some of my magical tools, but they are in storage right now. And so I have a crystal point that's about this big that I like to keep on my altar, in the northern part of my altar, and it helps inscribe my candles and stuff like that. And so I will inscribe runes on my candles, and then what I like to do is, I'll put oil on my candles and then maybe roll them in a powder or something like that, and then light them and activate the runes as my spell. And I just add them as an ingredient to my spell work. But no, I don't use it as a written language, as some witches do. And then the second one: do you feel you have natural gifts such as premonitions, or is that hearing spirits? Hearing spirits? Do you think this is what led you to the path? I do have some natural gifts, and some gifts have been like dreams. I get messages through dreams a lot. Like recently what I've been getting messages is as to when people will die. That's kind of creepy, but I have that. And so I also am psychic as well. That's very important for a witch to develop that aspect of yourself, to be a little bit more psychic than muggles, to have that advantage, in daily life. I can scan people really easily. I'm also clairvoyant, or clairsentient, I think is the right term. Like, I just know certain things. I'll just get flashes of knowing, and it'll come to pass, like, really, really quickly. Like, I'll just get I get things like images in my mind about a lot of stuff. And so that's always been a part of who I am. I've been able to see beyond the veil, and like when I was little, I would get visions of, like, one of my most memorable experiences is one time I was just getting in the car as a little kid, and I saw fairies dancing on the lawn. Like, I literally saw a bunch of fairies that liked the garden that my mom had, and so they were just enjoying themselves and just having a good time, and there were really fairies in my mom's garden. So they knew there was a witch in that house, and even though I have no green thumb whatsoever, I try to keep plants alive. I don't have a green thumb, so it's my mother who has the green thumb in the family. So they just like, I've always lived around fairies, and when shit goes missing, I'm like, okay, fairy, where is it? Uh, but I don't know if that led me. I think it was my general belief system that led me to this path, not because of my gifts. Um, and each witch, I think, has, a different set of gifts that they might have been born with, or none. Uh, but I think people have the capacity to awaken certain gifts that were kind of dormant before. But it was more my belief system that led me here. Question 3, what day did you work with, if any? I work with Hecate. I'm a follower of Hecate. And why? I think it's because of my association with the land that I was born on an island off the coast of California, just a little teeny tiny island. And we like to think that we're a lot better than we really are in this little town of ours. I won't say where I live, obviously. But I have a good connection with the land, sea, and sky. And Hecate is the goddess of the land, sea, and the sky. So I think that's partly of what drew me to her and her to me. Basically, I reached out to her, and I was just blessed with the fact that she accepted me into her fold, essentially. And now we have this really great relationship. Question number 4. Have you always worked with the same deity? No, I have not. I have worked with many witches like to work with the same pantheon to get to know and have a relationship with the same deities, you know what I mean? And so I've tried to work with people from my ancestry, like I'm Irish, so I've worked with Celtic deities, and that's worked for me in the past, but I didn't really resonate well with them, as well as the Norse. I really like the Norse deities, and like all the imagery and the pageantry of the Norse gods. Like, that was just awesome to me. But in the end, it didn't really work out. And then, so for a while after that, I was just like, I worked with what deities corresponded to the spells kind of that I was doing, but I didn't really form a bond with any of them. I was just waiting until the right moment for a deity to come around, I guess, and present themselves, and Hecate came around eventually. And so now I just work with her. And let's see, question 5. Do you have any personal items in your practice? Do I use like blood or urine or tears, etc.? Yes, I do. I've used bodily fluids in order to bind objects to me in my practice. Let's see, what else? But other than that, like, I've used my own hair in like mojo bags and stuff like that. I don't really use blood work though. Like, I have gotten a lancet and things like that. As a chaos magician, it's actually a really good rule of thumb to have a good amount of tools at your disposal, because in chaos you use what you have. And so if I was in the future, if I'm really called upon to do blood magic, oh hey, I already have a lancet available to draw some clean blood, and then I'll have everything ready when the time comes, because I think I will eventually do some blood magic, but it just hasn't come up yet. Let's see. Question number 6. This is going to be a long video. Question number 6. Do you do past life readings, or has they been done with for you? I believe in finding out my own shit. One time, this was years ago, I don't know if he remembers this, but Michael helped me just do a healing, and through that healing I discovered I was an Egyptian priestess at a temple or something like that. I don't remember who it was for, like Isis or something. I don't remember which deity it was, but it would make sense that I've always kind of been a pagan, in my past lives and stuff. And one time I got a vision that this looked like medieval times, that I was an old man and I was in a buggy, just like riding to market or something. Who knows? But that was a vision I got from that. I know what I'm going to be in a future life, and that's pretty interesting as well. But I generally like to do my own, my own meditations on what a past life might have been. And yeah, so that's my thoughts on that. Instead of actually getting a reading done for me. Question number 7. What is my favorite magical tool? Oh, I would probably have to say runes are my favorite magical tool, because they are transportable. You can just draw them in the air. You can activate them frickin' anywhere you want to. You could dip your finger in water, draw water runes on a window for protection. I mean, runes are just endless possibilities. So you could draw it in dirt and have it be a money spell, or anything really. So runes would probably be my favorite magical tool. Other than that, probably crystals. I love crystals too. Number 8. What is a song or type of music that gets me in a witchy mood? I use... it really all depends, but for meditation lately, I've been listening to trance music. Trance music has really helped me meditate, and so that's what I like at the moment. Otherwise, violin music is really, really nice. I've listened to harp music before. Just anything kind of instrumental with a really nice melody really helps. Question 9. What is the most magical place I have been? That would probably be Rome, Italy. Like, I felt the powerful presence when I was there, and it was just really magical to me to be there. And it was very humbling, and so I would have to say Rome is probably the most magical place for me. Number 10. What animal is your familiar, if any? I have never really had a familiar. I've had lots and lots of pets, and like they've discussed in the Deviant video, many of them are, attracted to magical workings and stuff like that. Just like the current dog that my folks have, she would probably be the closest thing to a familiar that I would ever have had. But no, I've never had a familiar. I think, yeah, you can't choose your familiar. They come to you, and you'll know if it's a familiar or not. Number 11. What in the craft are you best at? Ooh, probably spell work. I'm really good at my spells. Like, if I was going to offer anything to the pagan community, it would have to be, selling the fact that I could do spells for them and energy work and stuff like that. So that would be my specialty. You see, number 12. What in the craft are you weakest at? Probably tarot. I suck at tarot. Like, I really do. I have to have the book and everything. Like, I suck at it. So don't ask me to give you tarot readings. Let's see. 13. What are your most favorite part of the craft? Spell work, spell writing, divination, stuff like that. My favorite part of the craft, I guess, my the chaos part, because it uses minimal tools. I'm not a traditional witch. I would not say I'm a traditional witch at all. So everything that deviant witchery talks about, I'm a slightly different kind of witch. So I'll talk about different things. Uh, but yeah, my favorite part, that's tricky. I love all of it. I love the research. Actually, you know what? My favorite part would be the research. I love to read and just like take notes and just have more nuggets of knowledge. Like I love reading, hands down. Okay, that's my favorite part of the craft. Reading. Reading and research. So number 14, what is the first purchase tool I ever got? I got a whole bunch. I think I got my alt. I think I bought. I got it. My probably my. I used to be Wiccan, so I think my first tool was a god and goddess candle like set for an altar. Like I think that was the first thing I got, and then I think the second thing I got was a pentacle necklace. Yeah, I think the first thing I got was a gold god candle and a goddess candle back when I was Wiccan. Uh, Number 15, what was your favorite homemade tool for my practice? I don't really make my own tools. But the first thing I was ever gifted was a tarot deck. I got the Rider-Waite deck for Christmas one year, and that was really nice. And also I've been gifted, like journals and stuff like that. Let's see. What are feelings on raising kids in the craft? I belong to a coven that is very kid friendly, so I would totally raise my children to be pagan, and then teach them, because that's my beliefs. So why wouldn't I pass down those pagan beliefs to my children? And then if they ever showed any interest, then I would teach them. I mean, I would probably teach them psychic self-defense and stuff like that first. And then if they ever wanted to go any further into the craft, like spell work and stuff like that, then I'll teach them that too. Like kind of, I would teach the craft based on their interests and things like that. Is kind of how I would go about it. And then of course when they're older, they could do whatever they wanted. Let's see. 17. If I was a god or goddess, who would I be? That's kind of stupid. I don't even know if I'm going to answer that. Number 18. Do you use astrology? No. I do not use astrology. Like, I don't even know if I believe in it all too much. Anyway, that's just my thought. Number 19. What, if any, ways would you practice dark magic and still respect beliefs of Wicca? Oh no, that's a loaded question right there. I guess I would say I'm a deviant chaos witch at this point, if you wanted to brand me as anything. Just chaos magician. We just use our own beliefs. I don't believe in dark magic. I believe in offensive magic, which I guess maledictions would go into that category. But no, I wouldn't believe in... I don't believe in dark magic. That's just too black and white. And number 20, do you have witches in your family? Let's see. I've gotten readings where some of my ancestors were witches. That would make sense. Let's see. But no, I'm the only witch in the family right now. I have some family members that are really good at certain things, like phone ESP, like my mother calls it phone ESP, where she could kind of tell. She's a little bit psychic. Yeah, my mother is psychic, definitely. So that's a gift that, people have in this family. My aunt tells a story of when I was little, we were just sitting on the couch or something, and then I automatically read her thought, and I said, I love you too. She loves to tell that story, but she doesn't believe that I was psychic or anything. Like, she's just like, she just thinks that was a cool moment. But it's like, yeah, my family members are psychic, I have a little cousin who has the gifts of witchcraft. So she's a little teenager, so she might end up being a witch. I would be positive my little cousin Ellie would probably be a witch pretty soon, because her mother is totally open minded to that kind of thing, and I think she'll be a witch. Uh, but because my family on my dad's side isn't really religious, my family on my mom's side is. So if they have any witchcraft tendencies, they just dismiss it. You know what I mean? But on my dad's side, I guess they're more open that way. They don't really give shit. Let's see. Do they have any other? I think the main thing is my family members are psychic. But other than that, I haven't really seen. Like maybe they might be good at glamours, like my dad. You know what? On my dad's side, they're really good at glamours, and then my mom's side is psychic, because my dad has always been good at, like manipulation and stuff like that. I don't know if that he's not a bad guy, but he's a salesperson, so he's always been good at like manipulation and shit like that. So my dad's family is probably really good at glamours, and like charming people a little bit. Yeah, so anyway, this is my most recent video. I definitely didn't want to do all 77 questions for the witchcraft tag, but this video was really fun, and so please like and subscribe to my channel, my new channel for Amy Citrine, and I hope you have a wonderful week coming up. All right, bye.